Welcome back, everybody. This is Nick Korex, and I'm going to try this one again. My OBS recording software, for whatever reason, decided not to record any audio, whether it was me talking or the game. And so I'm using my Play.tv recording software, which was free with the computer because of the stuff that I have. Kind of irritated that everything happened the way it did, because I was extremely happy with my commentary, and I'm probably going to screw something up now that I'm redoing this. So anyways, it's coil spring versus leaf spring comparison. And hopefully I'll get this up tonight to replace that other file. Oh yeah, I need to kind of breaks. Anyways, I got the front bumper one, toolbox, garage stuff, rock sliders, jerry cans, and I'm running the Goodyear Wrangler MTR Kevlars. Now, you guys have seen a couple of the vehicles I've already ran on this. I'm going to try this time to do as close to the exact same line as possible, so you guys can see the difference in it. And I may have given some wrong information the last time I recorded this particular session, but hey, apparently nothing audio-wise recorded, so if there was any wrong information, no one understood, or no one heard it. Yay for me. Boo for stupid recording issues. I need to get a good recording software and not this free junk. So anyways, enough about that, and let's get on with the task at hand. As you can see in this, and I'm not going to be complaining about having to use the winch, because this map's just insanely difficult. If you guys haven't noticed from my last silent video, I finally got my Spintires Plus file to work with some help of Drifticidal doing some screenshots and me basically copying and figuring out exactly how he had everything hooked up, or done up. No, not high. There we go. As you can see in this, really easily, the where is this hooked to? Wow, way over there. Anyways, as you can see in how the suspension's flexing out, it is a lot softer than what the leaf spring's going to be. You gotta figure that your coil springs are all of, what, about a half-inch thick pieces of steel that are wound up in a fashion that makes them springy for their coil springs. I'm gonna continue down this way. Let me zoom out a little bit. Thank you. Ouch. Please don't tell me I just glitched into the mud. I also, with my Spintires Plus being available now, I've got to double check to make sure I've got my working snorkel setting on, so then I can finally get down to a challenge that somebody asked me to do quite a while ago, and I had to put that on the back burner until Spintires Plus played nice. So anyways, as you guys can tell, you know, this is doing fairly good on traction, keeping all the wheels planted as much as possible with having solid axles front and rear. And whenever I jump into the blue version, which is the leaf spring version, and that is leaf spring front and back, I have the exact same stuff. I should have put topped off fuel on both vehicles, but hey, yeah, I didn't think about that until just now. I really am digging these Wrangler tires, the Kevlar reinforced ones. They are freaking amazing. It's not just because they're Kevlar reinforced. It's just the traction on them is awesome. The grip is, oh my god, I cannot compliment enough on the tires alone. They're freaking amazing. But as you guys can see in this, I keep saying that too. Oh god, I gotta get better commentary. I suck. Wait, is my microphone turned on? Yes. Okay, god. I was afraid I was about in the middle of doing it again. So anyways, I will try and get to a section which looks like this might be a good possibility to show some coil spring suspension flex. Not so much. Whoa, hello. Wow. That just kind of freaked me out. Kind of went right straight through the truck. Come on, back up. Thank you. I'm trying to trying to get an area where I can do some really good suspension flex modeling for you guys. And like I've said before, I'm not a huge Toyota fan, but once I saw that this had the this version with the coil springs and the other version with the leaf springs, I really wanted to do this particular, not necessarily challenge, but more of a pseudo-educational understanding of why there's the how the difference between the coil springs and the leaf springs is. So I am going to try and do what I can. No, stupid, no. Alright, so you can see right there, the front ends flex fairly decent. Not the best in the world, not the worst in the world. If you can kind of tell, the back end is too. And I'll stop in that exact same spot with the leaf springs, so you guys can get a fair comparison. I might actually try and do a little trickery with stealing some screenshots and having a side-by-side comparison somewhere in here, but then again, I'm not great with computers. It's taken me... Well, actually, the original Spintires Plus file I downloaded was Spintires 4 or 5. I guess I just turned off the engine on accident, not paying attention to what I was doing. Oh, come on, you stupid freaking thing. Ow. So anyways, here in about 30 seconds I will be jumping over into the leaf spring. You can see, I mean, this right here is a good area to show off how well the coil spring suspension maneuvers. I mean, that right there is a good view of it. Go ahead and hit the parking brake. I mean, that front passenger side tire is probably maxed out with how low it is, or can be, before it's three-wheeled or tripoding, however you want to state it. The back end's, it's not so much, but let me jump over into the leaf spring. And as you can tell, front bumper 1, toolbox, garage stuff, rock sliders, jerry cans. The Goodyear Wranglers are on. I got a little less fuel right now, but whatever. It's not gonna make or break this comparison. So I mean, don't get me wrong. This truck does, with the leaf spring suspension, does have some pretty good flex. I'm not saying all leaf spring suspension is just stiff as can be. I mean, heck, look at like your little S10s and stuff. They're considered to be, what, quarter or half-ton trucks, even though I don't think they're weight rated for that. I should probably have gone ahead and thrown this down into manual, or not manual, but low. As you can see right here, right now, leaf spring was tripoding in the exact same area that the coilovers did not. See, I'm struggling a little bit harder with doing this trail in this version. A lot of it has to do with the suspension travel and the amount of grip having only 3 wheels on the ground is giving you. So I will go ahead and winch up to here as of right now. I'll cheat it just a hair and try and do it this way a little bit. Well, never mind. Oh, I just took a really bad line trying to do this. Oh, whatever. I made it. That's all that counts, right? Alright, so, onwards down the path we go. As far as this thing being leaf spring suspension, it does have some pretty good flex. But the problem is it's not as good as the coil spring suspension flex for these particular vehicles. Don't get me wrong, it is really, really determining factors on the particular vehicles. Not only in-game, but in real life, too. Look at the old school Corvettes and Camaros that ran leaf springs. And, you know, they were some pretty harsh riding vehicles. Then again, you also look at, say, like an old Vista Cruiser or something along those lines that would have had leaf spring in the back. They were a pretty soft, comfortable ride. And they're the same era of vehicle. So it's very vehicle specific on how the suspension's set up. It is purpose designed on how the suspension is set up. And as you can tell in this particular setup, the coil spring does help out with trailing a bit because you're not tripoding the vehicle as often. You've got all 4 wheels on the ground a lot more than what you do on this version. Oh, great. Well, that wasn't 100% the right direction, but whatever. I want to go this way, I guess it was. It looked like, anyways. So, yeah, yeah. Hopefully I can get up to the particular area that I need to be in. Oh, right there, I believe. And the big reason I chose these 2 vehicles, like I said, one, you have both versions in the same download pack, which makes it very convenient because the vehicles are going to be set up almost identical when it comes to power and torque and the way the tires are gripped, or or not the tires are gripped, but the tire settings for grippiness are set. Well, while I'm stuck right there, I'm gonna go ahead. Whoa, whoa, truck, don't glitch out on me. Yes, I'm going to skip ahead a couple of hours, so the sun's not going down. As far as I know, no one gets mad at me for doing that, but if you do, I'm sorry. It's just I'm trying to keep the daylight up, and because especially for a comparison like this between your leaf spring and coil spring. Once I get up into this certain area, crap, I missed it. Partly because I didn't realize. Oh, let's do it like that. Alright, so, as you can see, one tire's pretty much off the ground. It may be touching, but very slightly. The other tire is pinned into the fender. In the back, you've got pretty much the same, just opposite corners. Now the big difference here is with the coil spring, your tires that are dropping down are going to be capable of resting on nope, not that far. Okay, resting on this dirt area right here a bit better. So, for example, say right now with the way this suspension's set up, this tire is only receiving 5 pounds of pressure per square inch. As just a random thrown out number, 5 pounds per square inch. Now, if this was the coil spring variety, with it being able to drop a little bit lower, this area right in here that's touching the dirt could have 10 or 15 pounds of pressure per square inch. So it's going to help increase grip. Now, there are benefits to the leaf springs. One, they last a lot longer from what I've seen. That GMC 1500 I've been working on, if I'm not mistaken, being a 1991, has the original coil or leaf springs in the back. I don't think my uncle has ever actually changed them out, and they're still strong enough to keep the truck up afloat. Well, not afloat, but you know, keep the axle from resting on the frame. Now, granted, yeah, I did manage to make it a little bit faster in the leaf spring Jeep. Then again, I also had a couple of seconds of talking at the beginning and other random stuff. But, I mean, there's no bad sort of suspension when it comes to off-roading. Your leaf springs, good old-fashioned reliable. Your coil spring's going to give you a little bit better flexibility. But all in all, both are going to work. It just really depends on how the particular vehicle is built. If you're doing a big old mud bogging thing where you want the biggest lift for cheapest way possible, leaf springs. If you've got leaf springs front and back, you literally can get 6 inches of suspension lift for around $100 if you know how to do it properly. As to where the coilover system, you can't. Not for that cheap. And I mean, that's just bare bones basic stuff like 3-inch lift blocks and a 3-inch shackle drop. So, you know, 6 inches right there. Coil springs you couldn't do that with. So, I mean, when you're doing this type of thing, you really have to pick and choose how you want this vehicle set up. Mud boggers, coil springs, they'll work, but to get the height you need, leaf springs are going to be a lot cheaper to go with. And vice versa, if you're doing a rock crawler and you need that really long travel suspension, like most rock crawlers have, then you want the coil springs. not the leaf springs. So anyways, enough about the educational BS. I'm tired of talking, and I will try and get this up no later than the end of the night, because I've been at work all day. I couldn't sit there and finagle with it. Actually, I shouldn't say it was my recording software. It was my editing software that deleted all of the audio. I just thought about that. I didn't look at the raw footage from when I first shot it. I looked at the save file from the editing, because there was a section I had to edit out. And I managed to do it perfectly flawlessly. Anyways, this has been Nick DeCorax explaining the difference between the coil spring and the leaf spring, and showing you the difference between the coil spring and the leaf spring. Is one better than the other? Depends on your definition of better, and it also depends on what exactly you're using the vehicle for. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, or learned something, please like, favorite, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.